So in your program, you're helping me bring it all together, because before it was just this big mess of information and I had no idea what to do with it. So I always tell people pin potential is like having a business coach in your back pocket.
Hi, Amy. Welcome to our conversation. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today. Before we jump into some of the questions that I have about your experience with Pin Potential and with learning in one of my programs, can you introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about your business and what you do online?
So my name is Amy, and I have a business where I help people move through their problems, always with the intention of bringing them into their higher potential and letting go of things that are stopping them from living their best life. And so I use a lot of different modalities, and I've been dabbling with playing with the online space a little bit because I want to run some group coaching programs and stuff. So I've been working to move a little bit more into that world. But most of my work is with individual
Yeah,
people.
in person. So you're making this transition. And I know actually you had a different business before that you decided to either evolve or close down. So this is the new iteration of your new vision of what your business is going to be.
It's the same business. It's like bringing a different element into it.
Okay. And then part of
Yeah.
that new vision is having a presence online. And so
hmm
is that how you found me? How did you found your way into the world of Pin Potential and Meagan Williamson?
I took a marketing course with Vicky Dixon
Yes.
through the lens of human design, so helping people market themselves through their energy,
Okay.
right? And how they're aligned to show up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been very, very resistant to marketing
Yeah.
my whole
I'm sure you and a lot of people, well, especially the type of business, the niche that you're
yeah.
in, is about energy and connecting closely with others. I can see that, right? That's a big change. You got introduced to me there and you decided that you were interested in learning more from me. So you're in Pin Potential, which is my flagship Pinterest marketing program, but it really isn't just Pinterest. Now, did you know that before you came into Pin Potential?
No, I came because in Content by Design, she was teaching us how to write, and she kept saying that we needed to like put it into the world in some way. And she started talking about the ecosystems and all the things that we talk about, but I'm not an online person. Like, I don't have Facebook and Instagram. It's just not my thing. I just doesn't resonate. But Pinterest really resonated. So when she said Pinterest and then she talked about you, I just lit up. I was like, I can do that.
So it was
I
like
can do
something different because the
Yeah,
others are like a non-starter for you. You weren't
yeah,
interested in using
no.
Instagram or Facebook, but you knew you had to find ways to market your business. So Pinterest
Mhm.
was that sort of like alternative for you.
Yeah, and one that, I enjoyed.
Okay,
I
very
enjoyed people.
good. And did you
Yeah.
take any of my free trainings before you decided to jump into the course or
Yeah,
no?
I did your challenge, your 5-day
Okay,
challenge
very
last,
good.
probably this time last year,
Yeah,
maybe.
I bet it was a year ago, May. I remember
Yeah,
that actually.
yeah.
Very cool. So you did the challenge, you decided to join us. Before you joined, did you have any hesitations, like for whether your niche or if you thought it was, worth the investment, or especially maybe as someone, like you said, you're a little bit online, not shy is not the right word, maybe like you're not that keen to spend much time online. Was there anything you were worried about before you jumped in?
I knew that I was pushing past my own barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
knew.
you got a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love people, but yet I was excited about it. So I don't often overthink these sorts of decisions. It usually
Okay.
takes me a couple of days to like ride it out through my emotions. And
Yeah.
then if it's right, I jump on it. So
I
that's
feel
kind of
like
how.
you emailed me, I'm pretty sure. You emailed me, introduced yourself. I'm very, very grateful that you decided to jump in. Now, once you were in Pin Potential and you sort of started watching the trainings, were you able to come to any calls or
Yeah, I went to all the calls in the 8-week cohort. They were really helpful. And then since then, I've been in your membership. And so I just either watch the replays because I can't always make it to the calls, but I stay in the membership because of all of the people that you bring in.
Yeah. Well, let me explain that, because most people might be watching this and thinking like, what is she talking about? So the way that the course is set up is it really is more of a program. So it's a heavily supported course that you join. You can do the course at your own pace. We have a Facebook community, and then we have regular calls where you can come and ask questions about the things that you're learning and get specific feedback about your niche, about your offers, about what you're doing. And I remember you coming to calls and kind of saying, you were working on some different pieces, like, for example, things related to your website, or maybe offering a virtual training, like what should this look. I remember we were in some emails, we worked through emails. And so really the coaching is there to help you move through and get things set up when you first come into the course, and hopefully help you work through, like, the idea with cohort learning is you're with a group of people, and you can come and take advantage of the calls, or if you would like, if you're too busy or the times don't work for you, you can always submit and then watch the replays. Once the course is done, students have the ability to extend their learnings and their ability to access coaching with what we call the membership on the back end. So it's a course with a membership where you can keep coming to the calls, and we bring in guest experts. I offer extra trainings, and then there are the support with strategy and getting feedback, whether it's on your Pinterest account or your sales funnels or your email marketing, all these things. So what would you say, like, in terms of when you initially got the course, was there anything that you feel like Pin Potential was able to sort of help you accomplish or get done that maybe you were struggling with, or you feel like you wouldn't have been able to do it, or, or certainly maybe not do it as quickly if you were trying to figure it out on your own?
Yeah, I feel like being in the course and in the membership was what actually pushed me past my marketing barrier. So a year ago, there was no way I was writing emails. I wasn't going to do it. And now I enjoy writing them because,
I love
and it's
that.
because of some of the things that we've learned through your program. And some of the
Yeah.
people that you've brought in, and then just some of the things that you've taught us, and then how you put it together for us, and, like, how you show us the whole ecosystem and how it all works, and some of your, raving about how important email is. So,
It finally rubbed off on you. But you know
yeah,
what? I don't think you're alone. I think there's lots of different parts of marketing, especially depending on your personality or what your previous experience was, is a lot of these things are very intimidating. And there's so many programs out there that are sort of like, oh, just do this, but then you can't really do this without doing all these other things. But then how are you supposed to learn those other things, right?
yeah. And so in your program, you're helping me bring it all together, because before it was just this big mess of information and I had no idea what to do with it. So I always tell people Pin Potential is like having a business coach in your back pocket.
I love that. I love that. And really, that is like music to my ears, because that's really why I've designed it the way I've designed it from an educational perspective, is that for me to have an impact and to help you create growth and results, whatever that might be, right, in your business. Everyone's baseline is different. What people want to achieve with their businesses, where they want to go, is such a unique personal goal, right? So, and I think that the idea is that to be able to help you, we have to work on these different parts of your marketing. And some people are very comfortable, some people aren't. I certainly wasn't very comfortable marketing myself when I first started. So it sounds like you started, you found your place as when it comes to visibility and marketing. You started some new things for your business. What were your favorite parts of the course or the program?
I feel like I went from knowing nothing to actually having a little system that I understand.
I love it.
Like,
And that feels good for you.
yeah, my own little marketing ecosystem. It's not big
Yeah.
or anything, but now I understand how all the pieces work, and I know what to do with each little piece a little bit better. Like, so I understand the SEO a little bit better. And then, from some of the people you've also brought in, I've found along the way, maybe like some email marketing coaches that I follow a little bit. Like, there's all these little pieces that have come together for me. So now it doesn't feel like a big mess in my mind that I just can't look. So it's more grounded.
And true to who you are, right? Like, I think you have to find a way to do things, to market yourself in a way that feels aligned and cohesive with who you are, which is really, really exciting, because I think it's easy for some people to be like, oh, you just got to get over it. But it isn't about that. It's about finding your own little spot that clicks, right? Like that's a phrase that I've used before, is like marketing that clicks for you and your business, not necessarily what works for me. I can tell you that, but it might not be the same. I really, really love that. We have such a diverse range of people who find their way into Pin Potential. Do you feel like for your niche and what you do, that the way that the program is set up, or even the way that I coach, that it's been able to help you where you're at? That's good for your niche or good for your industry?
It is, because it's not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do cookie cutter.
No.
Yeah,
Nor do
with a lot
I.
of other business, I've looked at a lot of other business programs and coaching, marketing coaching, and it just feels so, promising that this is the outcome if you follow these 10 steps, and that's not what Pin Potential is. It's customizable to everyone's journey, I guess.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And that's my goal. So that's perfect, right? It really is. Funny because I get a lot of questions where people be like, oh, Meagan, like I'm in your challenge. I do this. Do you think Pin Potential would be a good fit for me? And sometimes there would be open business advice out there that's like, oh, you'll never be successful unless you really niche down your offer. And I don't feel comfortable saying, like I try my very best to help everybody. And I really do think the way the program and the support has been created is it's there to be evolved and meet you where you are at and provide that support without feeling cookie cutter or sort of like very rigid, right? Do you think in terms of the coaching and the business support, like it sounds like you looked at other programs and you felt like Pin Potential was a better fit for you and your business?
Yeah, I did feel like it was a better fit for me. How I operate, I also have to be like working with somebody like yourself who's just natural and authentic in how you run your business. And so, it feels more human to human rather than, like I said, cookie cutter.
Well, in an age where you can't, like, even earlier today we were on a phone call and it's like I was looking at something and I was like, is that AI? What? No, I want to see this video because it's human and it's a real person and a real business owner. I think it's even more important to underscore the human element. Is there anything that you would tell somebody who's like thinking about joining Pin Potential, but they're not sure, or, anything that you would share sort of business owner to business owner, as somebody, like it's been a year now, you've been moving and shaking and finding your own little place in the online world. Although it's funny when I said that and you're like, no, I'm not like that. But you have created a space for your audience and your people, and I'm really proud of you for that. But is there anything that you would tell someone who's thinking about joining? They're on the fence. They're not sure if they should join Pin Potential.
Yeah, I think it's basically what I already said, where especially if it's somebody who's newer to marketing, it's the perfect. I mean, people obviously come in who aren't new to marketing because everybody has some different element that they're looking for that you can offer them. But it's the perfect all around like business coaching program. It's not just about Pinterest. And so for someone like me who was starting from total scratch because I never marketed myself before, you gave me a little bit of everything that I need to get started. And I don't even know if I would need more because there's so much program and with all your bonus content and everything, which I haven't even got through.
Well, it's there for you when you're ready. I think the funny thing though is like people find me because like you did, you were in Vicky's program, you heard about Pinterest and you're really intrigued. And then once you came in, you were like, oh, there's these other things that are going to help me. And again, like I don't want to overwhelm people and really tell them when they come into Pin Potential that it's really Pinterest and so much more. And for some people, they love it. Other people are like, oh, I don't need that. I'm just here for that. And that's okay too. But the idea is it's sort of like a buffet, right? So you can come, you can pick what you like according to your dietary preferences or what you're in the mood for, and execute and use it and get the support that you're looking for as a business owner. I think so much of what we do is so, I don't know, can be very isolating. And, it's sort of like we can struggle through trying to figure out an email sequence or an automation, or how do I connect my calendar to this on my website?
And I also wanted to add that you've been very supportive in reading through my emails and everything and helping me structure, pulling out pieces that didn't work or that did work,
Yeah.
or just helping me find the right flow. So the way that you help people in the actual classes is really individualized to what we need. So it's not just pin potential, it's whatever.
I wouldn't have it any other way,
Yes.
right? And I can't wait. Like, this is just the beginning for you, right? Like, those first emails. And like you said, you would have never imagined emailing. And look at you, you have a sequence, we've edited it, you have it up. I think, though, getting started is the hardest part. Everyone moves at their own rate. Some people watch the replays, some people come to every call. And I think one thing that's really important to me is that no matter where you're at, that you feel supported in the program and you make progress at any rate, I don't mind, but you came, you shared, you asked questions. And as an educator, I couldn't ask for anything more, truly.
It's a fun program too.
Yeah, we're a cool group of people, my dog is joining us to say hello. We always have our dogs. We always have, it's like serious, but not, right? It's like one of those things too, because we have people from all different niches and industries and backgrounds, and the ways that we're using Pinterest is different, but we're unified. It's funny, like people would say, like, how would you describe the community? And I'm like, honestly, I feel like I just attract people who are wonderful and ethical and care about what they're doing and care about how they're marketing their businesses, right? And because of that, even though we come from, like everyone, you could have a call and 30 people would say 30 different niches or topic, like what they do online. And I think for some people, they think they want to be with other people who run the same kind of business as them. But because we all do different things, I think we are like this collective hub of good people that can support you and cheer you on and get excited for you, right? For your wins and accomplish big and small things that are happening in your business.
Yeah, it's a nice group of people.
Well, appreciate you sharing, Amy. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with me today. I know that there are people out there, especially people who might be in a similar business or even just at a similar place as you and wondering about whether pin potential and learning Pinterest and all the other things from me would be a good investment of their time and their resources. And I hope that your story resonates with them. If people are interested in learning about your business, do you want to share where people can find you?
My website is bluedragonflyhealing.ca. My email is my name, Amy, at bluedragonflyhealing.ca.
If you do have any questions about Pin Potential, I would love to hear them. The information for Pin Potential will be below, and we'll be sharing more about all of Amy's incredible progress and success in the future. Amy, thank you so much
Meagan.
for coming.